What's up, nerds? Back with another video. In this video, we are going to talk about generational differences and a little bit about the world and how it's changed. And the reason I want to talk about this is because, one, it's something I've talked about with people going back as far as 2016, 2015, right? And now that the world's progressed even further past that, a decade later, it's only gotten more relevant. And Dr. Disrespect in today's stream started talking about these differences and these changes. And as I'm listening to him talk about this, I'm like, man, that's just exactly what I was talking about. So, time to make a YouTube video about it, although I'm sure I have YouTube videos on it somewhere in the history of this channel, maybe in the unlisted videos, who knows. But it is time to do an updated video about it. And so essentially what spawned it is Dr. Disrespect said during his stream that the people born, not that it's an entire generation, it's multiple generations, but the people born between 1975, give or take, let's just say, and he says 1992, 1994. I think that's pretty close to the cutoff that I would go with. And that's because for me personally, my argument, and this has been documented forever, I consider those born after 1994 as post-its. They are not millennials. Millennials are 1988, 1993, maybe 1986, 85 to 1993. And it is that specific region because those are the people that grew up with the first smartphone in a young and social environment. For me, I didn't have one, duh, or maybe not duh, but I did not have an iPhone, right? When they first came out. It was, people hadn't this, culture of everyone had that. People didn't understand it yet. So when people first saw the iPhones, it really was what the fuck are we looking? What are we talking about? What the fuck is this thing? We can play the kick the paper football thing on our phone. We can fucking play the throw shit in the trash bag game on our phone. But really, the first iPhone came out in the middle of high school for me. And so let's just take that into college. That's why I said 86 and on, because those people would have had cell phones in either their junior, senior years of college, right? And there is a big difference between people that had that technology in high school and college versus people that did not. And in addition to that, going back even older, I mean, these are the people that saw this technology develop and saw the impact of it, whether that's in their families, in their businesses, jobs, whatever the case is. But the point of this video and the point of Dr. Disrespect's topic and perspective that I share as well is that we, as this generation, these groups of these years of people grew up seeing what the old world was like and how things, hey, I was in high school. It's not like I had an insane understanding of the world as it is, right? However, the social dynamics in school, the way that everybody communicated with each other previously, seeing how that changed before and after the iPhone, seeing how that changed before and after the internet, I was on the front lines of examples when Netflix had everything. No security in any of the computers. I mean, our school had a shared drive, just like every college has shared drives now, right? My school had a shared drive that had Halo on it, and we would have Halo LAN parties during school because we had this underground Halo share drive that the school didn't know how to get rid of. I mean, other examples. And this is a more of an engineering specific example, but Wolfram Alpha, free Wolfram Alpha with the ability to do differential equations, linear equations, all these things. I mean, like, I was at the forefront of the internet exploding and got to use everything before you had to get the freemium model. Oh, Wolfram Alpha, it'll solve 5 equations for you, but then you got to pay for the freed version. Nope. I had that shit for all 6 months of differential equations, and it helped save my ass and get me through, because if you don't know what Wolfram Alpha is, it did all of the problems for you, all the math problems, and it had why to do it. I mean, it's just like, it didn't just give you the answer, it gave you everything about what you needed to and how to get to the answer. I mean, god damn it. And these kids now, they're like, oh, ChatGPT does everything. And I mean, like, man, before we had to struggle. I couldn't just type in la-di-da-di-da into Wolfram to get the answer. You had to be extremely specific, use all of the right symbols, have everything in order properly, because otherwise, if it wasn't exactly perfectly right, it wouldn't work. Now you just throw it to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT says, "Oh, I think you're talking about this. Well, it turns out this is how it works," or whatever, right? But the point is, sorry for the quick ramble, is that my generation and the generations before us going to this point, we still see these things as tools, because we remember how the past worked and what you needed to how you needed to do things. It was still on you to do things. You had these different tools that you can use, but at the end of the day, you were the one who still had to do the work to, I mean, okay, so obviously, again, a lot of these things did things for you, right? However, you had to still put in the parameters. You had to still have some understanding of what's going on, and some sort of understand, some sort of idea, right? But now that these systems, these different things are all set up, nobody remembers how it used to be. Like, just to go off, so 1994 onwards, because I was a sophomore in high school. So by the time that generation after became freshmen in high schools, the iPhones and everything were already out and different things were already established, right? So that's kind of what I mean by the cutoff. Like, I call them post-its, because 1994 onwards is like the beginning of like the World Wide Web internet area. So post-internet. But it was just something that I wanted to just make a video of. I'm not going to keep rambling too much. Just something for you to think of. When were you introduced to technology? When these technologies were introduced, when things were brought alive to you, were, phones, websites on the internet, were they introduced as, oh, here, this does this for you, or this is how it's done, you can use this? I mean, just different things to think about. It was something that I didn't expect Doc to talk about today, and when he talked about it, I was like, yeah, he's got something there. But anyway, that's all. Quick video. I have to go to the gym to lift, and then after that, I've got work, and then tonight, hopefully do some video editing, because I was supposed to get some video editing done today, and I did not, which is why we're uploading this. Anyway, that's all. Smoke grass, eat ass, be excellent to each other, and I will see you in the next video. Deuces.